Welcome to RE Uncut. Our daily shows are supported by Printforce, Shore Agents, Rockend and CoreLogic.
Hello once again. Well, a group of individuals cannot deliver the value of a well-trained collective. That's the message today from our guest mentor, Shannan Whitney, as he describes to Dean Yo the thinking behind the power of the one team concept. Shannan joins Dean Yo in just a moment.
Your business card is a vital selling tool and a constant visual reminder of who you are, what you do, and more importantly, how you can be contacted. Introducing our new Velvet business cards, featuring a luxurious premium laminate that has a velvet texture and is soft to the touch. Printed on a resilient 450 GSM card, these cards can be printed with a range of spot gloss and foiling options to give your office that prestigious look.
G'day Shannan, welcome back. It's Dean.
Hey Dean.
Now today's one is, how is this superpower in one team and making sure that's helping your sellers gain the edge?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think this is probably the most important element, in my view, to building a successful and effective business, real estate business. And in my view, it's the principle of this is crucial for small teams and big teams. In simple terms, from my observations, the most important thing when I was an agent in the 90s and today, the most important and valuable thing for a vendor are qualified buyers. In my view, that when you sit and ask a vendor, what is it that you want from an agent? It's their ability, their capacity, and the level of execution that they can deliver around that problem. Now, bearing in mind when I was an agent, it was pre-websites, so the agent's influence in that problem, in delivering that solution, in my view, was much greater. And you would see many examples of an individual or a group of agents or a team of agents genuinely being able to deliver those outcomes for sellers. In a digital world, the marketplace then became the single source of influence, in my view, and I still think that is today. Now, as an agent, the experience with an agent is that you have a certain bandwidth in which your exposure to buyers and your ability to move buyers into the qualified space because of resources or lack thereof. So therefore, you have a huge reliance on marketing platforms. In my view, I think that the shift into the next phase or the next area in real estate is going to be an organization or a group or a brand that is able to improve that problem. Therefore, not necessarily being the marketplace where all the eyeballs are, but having the capacity and the ability to identify, communicate, and to execute and influence qualified buyers for the benefit of sellers. If you think about the logic, if you could do that well with 4 people versus doing that well with 60 people, the level of effectiveness and value delivered to a vendor, in my view, increases exponentially. In my opinion, I still think that the real value from a real estate business is biased towards buyers, not towards vendors. The vendors are the recipients and the vendors are the ones that pay. However, I think that the real value lies with an individual, a brand or a team's ability to deliver qualified buyers to a vendor at any particular point in time. And therefore, in my view, as a business, that's been our focus for 18 years. It continues to be our focus. And I do think that it's getting easier for businesses and certainly for agents to be able to deliver that. And I think that's through technology and a combination of agent development, agent education, agent awareness, and also we have to consider the evolution of consumption. Buyers will consume and make decisions faster and quicker and more decisive than they ever have. And therefore, in my view, the agent's role is not just providing 5 or 6 different services. In my view, the agency and the agents of the future are going to be able to solve that problem a lot quicker. Therefore, a collective is much more powerful than an individual.
Which is a really good point. And I think that we're also talked about, in agency land, as far as that we're not just doing one thing anymore, that once we've developed that trust with that seller or that buyer, then there are other services that we can, easily roll over to as well, because we've developed that relationship and that trust. And you're right that throughout one group of, you're better to have 1% of 100 than 100% of one person. So if you have the ability to be able to synergize with all of your people within, that's a huge advantage.
And I think I'd have to say that it's probably the most interesting question, and I think it's the most important question. People don't often ask it. And I find it interesting because the challenge, the problem itself is a lot bigger than people realize. It's a very complex problem. It sounds simple, but it's very challenging. It's very challenging because the solutions are not easy. And I would say, in my view, real innovation and the real shift we'll see in the industry is resolving or trying to come up with solutions to big problems like that, not digitizing the current format. That's not innovation in my view. That's just moving from the same thing, doing it a slightly different way. And I'd say that because, in my view, I think that the businesses that are able to crack that and to able to come up with solutions to that they will be the businesses and the real estate agencies of the future.
Cracker point. Thank you. Look forward to tomorrow. Cheers.
All right.
The daily RE Uncut shows are supported by Printforce, Shore Agents, Rock End and CoreLogic. RE Uncut is one of the anchor shows at retplus.com, the home of property.